Hi lovely people, welcome back to my tutorial for today. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for your support. I really appreciate from the depth of my heart. And please, if this is your first time stopping by, kindly help us by hitting on that red icon to subscribe. And also touch the notification bell to be the first to be notified whenever I upload a new video. So now today's class we shall be looking at how to make a 360 degrees peplum with a circle flame. Okay? All right. And of course, we'll be using this bias to design the body of the peplum, okay? All right. So I have here up to 5 of my bias, okay? Of course, our zipper, our 2 scissors, one for the cutting of the wadding and hairstay. This is my pattern scissors and this is the main scissors, okay? I have my hairstay here for the lining up of the peplum. Okay, you have 3.5 yards of Ankara fabric here, and of course our wadding, our tape, our meter rule, and of course our chalk. Okay, so let's get down to business. Okay, so looking at the dress that we are making, you will see that the zip is at the front, is at the center front of the dress. Okay, so here I first of all fold my fabric into two. Okay, then mark out 2 inches for our zip allowance. All right. Okay, from my shoulder to under bust is 14 inches plus half an inch, which will be taken away at the shoulder point. This half inch here that I added, I will use it when I hold up the shoulder. Okay, it will now adjust back to this 14 inches. All right, so it's from shoulder to nipple is 11 inches plus half, which is 11 and a half. Okay, so to get our underbust is either you take your chest measurement or you just check the difference here, which is 1 2 3. So from this point now we count up 3 upwards. Okay, so 1 2 3, this is 8.5 inches. Okay, so this is our chest line. Okay, so I'll just make a straight line to connect us. Okay, next thing to do is to, from this shoulder now, we also mark our shoulder slope of 3 inches. 3 inches, and from those 8 inches now we come down by 1 inch for shoulder slope and 3 inches. Okay, so here we'll mark 4 inches and 1 inch. Then I'll just connect this. So our bust span measurement is 8 inches. That's the difference between the two nipples. Okay, so 8 divided by 2 to give us 4 inches. I'll add extra allowance for the joining. So here, if you are making use of 0.5, you add it up. If you're making use of 0.25, you add it up. Okay, so I use 0.25 to do my stitching. Okay, so here I'll be measuring 4.25. Okay, so here I'll add my 4.25. 4.25. So I'll just take this 4.25 down to the half length. So I'll use a straight line to connect it. Okay, so from those 4 inch now, I'll connect this to this point. Okay, this way. So I can go ahead now and cut this out. Okay, before I cut it, I'll also take the neck line. Okay, so the neck width we are working with is 3 inches. I will also make use of 3 inches. Remember that it has a bishop collar. Okay, all right. So here I'll be using a neck depth of 4 inches. Okay, so I'll just connect from those 3 inches here. So I'll first open up those. So I'll just notch out this my under bust points, and upper bust or chest line. So I'll go ahead and fold out another fabric into 2 to cut out the both sides. So you just fold another fabric into 2, then place the center front here. Make sure that you have up to 2.5 inches at the back. Okay, then just place this. The next thing to do is to sketch out this part. Okay, just sketch it out this way. Okay, then mark out all these notched parts. Okay, then we can now take back our measurements. So the armhole we worked with, we are working with is 18 inches divided by 2 to give us 9 inches. Okay, so from here now we'll take our 9 inches. Remember that we have taken away our shoulder slope, so we are starting from this point. Okay, all right. So at this point now, we take our bust measurement. So the bust we are working with is 39 inches divided by 4 to give us 9.75. So from this place, and when you look at this carefully, you will see that I fold in back the 2 inches for the zipper allowance. Okay, so that it will help us in taking our measurements. Okay, so just fold it in so that you don't make a mistake of including the zipper allowance to the body measurement. So from those points now, we take our bust measurement, which is 9.75. So I'll mark the 9.75, then I'll add extra 2 inches for our allowance. Okay, for the waist we are working with is 35 inches divided by 4 to give us 8.75. So I'll add extra 2 inches for seam allowance. So I'll just connect this. Okay, so from those points now, I'll connect it to our bust measurement to make our armhole. Okay, so I can now remove this front piece. So from this center, our nipple point, we'll take the 2.5 inches. Okay, take the 2.5 inches. So from this point, I will connect it to that 2.5. Hope you're understanding what I'm doing. From this nipple point, we'll take 2.5 inches Okay, then from those points now we'll connect it to the 2.5, and from here we connect it to the under bust. Okay, so just make sure that this place is not pointed. Okay, all right. So here I can go ahead and cut this out. As you can see, cutting of our princess bust here is very easy. Okay, for the back, I'll fold up another fabric. Okay, so here I'll take my shoulder measurement from those points, which is 16 into 2 to give us 8 inches. So here I'll mark my 8 inches. And I'll mark 3 inches for shoulder slope. Then here I'll come down by 1 inch, then 3 inches to make it 4 inches. Okay, all right. So from this point I'll take my under bust measurement, which is 14.5, then my nipple point, which is 11.5, and our upper bust, which is 8.5. Okay, so here I will connect those. Connect my shoulder slope. Okay, now make a straight line to connect this. So here I will take back our bust plan measurement, which is 8 inches divided by 2 to give us 4, plus my sewing allowance of 0.25, making it 4.25. So here I'll mark my 4.25. I'll mark my 4.25, and here I'll mark my 4.25 down to the half length. I'll just connect this. Okay, so from this 4 inches now, I will connect it the same way we did for the front piece. Okay, okay, so the next is to take our shoulder armhole measurement. So from this 1 inch now, I will take our armhole of 18 inches into 2 to give us 9 inches. So here I'll mark my 9 inch. So at this point now, we'll take our bust measurement. So the bust I'm working with is 39 into 4 to give us 9.75. 9.75, then extra 2 inches for seam allowance. The half length is 35 inches into 4 to give us 8.75. Then extra 2 inches for allowance. So I'll just connect this. Then from here, I'll connect to the armhole. Okay, so as you can see, I cut everything together, both the side and the center back. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and cut it, but before then we'll mark our neckline. So here we are still going to use 3 inches for the neck width, and for the neck depth we will use just half an inch. Then I'll just connect this 1/2 inch to those 3 inches. Okay. Because this is for the back piece, while this is for the front piece. Okay, so I'll just go ahead now and cut a lining for it, and we also cut our wording. Okay, so maybe we just go ahead and cut the wording for the front. Okay, for the wording, I'll make sure that I dodge out those zipper part. Okay, so I'll just place it. I'm cutting out from here, not from the zipper part, but from the main body. And I'll also leave like 0.75 inches at the upper part, okay, so that it will not affect my lining. Okay, all right. And at the down part also, I'll be leaving like 0.75 at the down part, okay, so that it won't affect the joining of the peplum. All right, so it will not make it to look more heavier. Okay, so I'll just fold it inward this way, then I'll cut this out. So when you look carefully at this wording, you will see that one side is shinier than the other side. So the part that is shiny, remember that this is into two, so you just make sure that the part that is shining faces the part that is shining, okay, so that you can use it to cut out the second piece for this fabric. Okay, all right, so I'll just place it this way and cut out for the second part. Okay, so I have this for each of the piece. Okay, now we cut out for the side. I'll just sketch out for the sides. Okay, so I have this for the side, so I'll just use this to cut out the second side. Okay, so make sure that the shiny face faces the other shiny face, okay, to avoid cutting the same face. Okay, here you just make sure that the you place the shiny face of this wording to the back of the fabric. Okay, then when you place this well, you turn it over this way, then use your electric iron. You use your iron to iron it out. You are ironing through the at the face of the fabric, okay, not at this part. Okay, you iron through this side. Okay, so just make use of your iron. I would have done that now, but we don't have light, so because of that I will just hold on till the brought light, or I can use my pin to hold those firm, then I can do my stitching. Okay, all right, but since I still have many works to do on the peplum and at the sleeve, I think I'll be going on with that part till hoping to see light before the end of the sewing. But if there is no light, I'll just use my pin to hold it up, then sew it round. So just use your iron and hold this to the fabric. Okay, so do the same thing at this part also. Okay, for the peplum, we'll divide our waist by 6.28, which is the circumference of a circle. Okay, so when you work out the mass, you get your 6.28. Okay, all right, so we use it to divide the circumference of the waist, which is 35 inches. So when you divide 35 by 6.28, it will be giving us 5.57. Okay, so here we'll be marking our 5.5. Okay, so we just mark those 5.5 round. So just fold your fabric into two, then fold again to make it 4. Okay, so just connect this. Okay, so our blouse length is 25 inches. So when we minus it by our half length, which is 16 inches, it will be giving us 9 inches. Okay, all right, so here I'll mark my 9 inches. So I'll be adding extra half inch for the joining. Okay, I'll mark 9.5. I'll just connect those with the dotted lines. I'll go ahead and open up those parts. I'll come in here by 1.5 inches. I'll just connect this 1.5 straight to this edge. Okay, so this is for our peplum. So I'll just use this to cut out our hairstay. Okay, just to give it a little bit of weight. Then I'll also use it to cut out our lining. Okay, then for the sleeve, okay, the sleeve is a double sleeve. Okay, so here I'll be cutting out the first two-step sleeve together. Okay, so here I folded this way. I folded my fabric this way into two like this. Then I fold again and fold again. Okay, then I fold this way. Because I want to cut out it together, I'm making another fold. Okay, so when you look at here, you will see that it is 2 that is up to 8. Okay, so that I will have my 2 sleeve. So I'll be making 10 and 8 inches. Okay, so that is 9.5 and 7.5 because I'll be using half for the joining. So first of all, cut out the smaller one before the bigger ones. Okay, so just circumference of your armhole divide by 6.28. So here I have been having as 2.8, but I'll just approximate it to 3 inches. If I have excess, I can easily pleat it. Okay, all right. So I'll mark my 3 inches round. I'll just get out my long this. This sleeve, this concerning this circle sleeve is of 2 ways. It's either you open it up here, that is if you want the one that will be under the armpit to be longer than the one that will be at the upper part. Okay, then you can just remove here. Okay, then cut out the length. But if you want it to look as if the one that will be outside and the one that will be inside to be equal, okay, this is what you will do. So the one that we are cutting now is the one that's when you look at it, it will look as if it's equal. Okay, so here I will cut out the main length. So I'll be using this length to see 3 inches plus 7 will be giving us 11 inches. Okay, so here I will mark my 11 inches round. Sorry, 3 inches plus, yes, I'll say 7.5. Okay, that is 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5. Okay, 10.5 inches. So I'll mark 10.5. Okay, what I will just do now is to mark out the center part. Okay, and just open this up this way. So it's either I make out my, okay, so this is the point. Okay, so the next thing I will do now is to take my 3 inches this way. So you just choose the side that you want. It's either the side or the side. Okay, so 3 inches. So from those 3 inches now, I'll just make my 3 inches round. From here, I'll mark my 3 inches round this way. Okay, I'll just open up those two. And go ahead and trace out all this. So when I open it up, I have this. So you see, so when you attach this to your sleeve now, it will be looking this way. So you see that this side is shorter than this one. So when you put it at your armhole, you will notice that the two seems to be equal. Okay, all right. So I'll just do this for the rest of the three. Okay, I'll do this for the second one, and the way I cut this, I'll just extend the length of the sleeve, okay, at the other two. Then I'll open it up this way. Okay, so as you can see, I've gone ahead to make a round circle for this. Okay, remember that we are going to use our bias to design it. It's either you make use of your bias, you can make use of your ribbon, or you can use uh a satin. Okay, just cut it out straight. Okay, then use it to design it. But for this, I'll be making use of this bias. Okay, so here I have each of the layers of the sleeve. I'll be making a three design with this bias. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and do the same circle to the all the sleeve. Okay, then I'll use my bias to design them. Oh, it's just very simple. Just open up your bias. Okay, then place it and sew it round. Okay, just stitch it round, then you go for the other one until you get up to the layers that you want. Okay, all right, so I'll just go ahead and cut this out, cut out my lining, then I will start to do the work. Okay. Okay, so as you can see, done lining up the thing with the bias, both the the first and the second part. And I've also done this. I first of all lined it up, designed it with the bias, then I lined it up. Okay, the first and the second one. This is the second one. Then after that, I have to attach it to our armhole. So here, there is the peplum, and as you can see, I neatly lined it up with my bias. This is the inside. As you can see, it's very neat. So now I'll just use this lining now to turn it up. So this was exactly what I did for the sleeves. Okay, just place it at the front face and line it up, then you now turn it inside out. So here I've already attached one of the sleeve to the armhole. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and attach the other one. As you can see, it's looking beautiful already. Just attach it, then attach the peplum, then use my zip to close it up. Okay, I'll just attach the peplum, then we'll now take the round neck. Okay, as you can see, I've attached the peplum and the other part of the sleeve. And looking at the dress, it's looking beautiful already. Okay, the next thing to do now is to take our round neck measurement, starting from this part of the zip, starting from here. Just take it round to the other neck. Okay, just from those points now, starting from those points to these points, just round. So after checking it, we have 19.5 inches. I added extra one and a half to make it 20.5 inches. Okay, this is what we have, 20.5 inches. Okay, and I've also cut out our medium hairstay to help it to stand a bit. Okay, so I'll just check for the shiny face, then iron it at the wrong face of the dress. Okay, and when you are attaching it to the neckline, make sure that the part that has the gum stay will be the one that will be touching the neck. Okay, all right, so I'll just fold into two. Then from those folded parts, I'll come in by 1 inch. Okay, 1 inch. Then I will mark the half an inch for our stitching, the half inch for the stitching. So I'll just connect it with a slight curve. Okay, let me just make this straight, then I'll connect it from that 1 inch now. Okay, I'll just trim it out. Okay, so from here now, I will just stitch it up from those parts down. Okay, and I'll do the same thing here. Then I will now attach it at the neckline. So thank you so much for watching till the end, and please, if this is your first time, don't leave without subscribing. Till we'll meet in my next class. Love you all.